this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the new moon going into Scorpio. And we know that when the moon is in Scorpio, or we have a major astrological aspect or event for the month, I cover it via your signs. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into your signs this time. I'll tell you a little bit in a generalization about this event, and then we'll start to see how this is going to affect your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, especially your moon sign, because this is a new moon in Scorpio. But usually new moons and Scorpios are all about new beginnings. In fact, new moons are all about new beginnings, or ideas that come to fruition, or maybe a realization and a moving forward energy in that specific energy source. And this is especially true with this particular new moon, that to me has very lovely aspects for many, or for most of the signs. It's a very harmonious time. We have zillions of just beautiful sextiles when the heavens are aligning and they're all dancing around up there, and it's like they're having a big frackin' party and they're sprinkling their little fairy dust down on us, which is extra potent for new beginnings. So this is a time of overcoming bad habits, of being creative, of allowing yourself to centrally connect with what you want, meaning if you have a very strong desire or a strong feeling about somebody, or a highly intuitive response to something, you are energetically aligned. And I would say that because you have been stimulated the past couple days, it could be coming up right now for you to start to want to generate a new beginning in that particular area. It is trying to prepare you for a very big change that I think is for the best. And you are going to feel pretty fearless in this energy. Anytime you have Scorpio energy coming into you, it's an energy source that's highly aligned, and it controls its outcome, and it's usually quite successful about it. You can feel a little bit vulnerable in this energy. Remember, this is a water-based energy, and so you may feel like you need to open up more to somebody very close to you. Remember that you're going to have a Scorpio intensity about you, so you're going to be very, very controlled about moving forward and the steps you take, and what information you give people that's very important to you. Low vibration of this moon for those of you that can have some aspects, but it's going to be very few of you. Jealousy, possessiveness, destructive behaviors, self-indulgent behavior, stubborn, secretive, fiercely competitive. All of that stuff is highly probable. Now, at the same time that we're having this beautiful new moon, we're having a yod. And that yod is asking us a question. How do we release ourselves, or release the blocks of that confine us to negative energies within our ego? And then Jupiter really wants us to go in and set up some powerful routines and open us up to positive outcomes. And then we've got Mercury and Scorpio and this moon really trying to aspect you in a really positive way, and saying, what do you need to do? What information do you need to flood your mind with? You know, energetically, you're starting to connect to the universe, and so you're getting signs. And are you interpreting these signs right? And or you're starting to get you're starting to have powerful. I want to say. And it sounds very phooey to say, but if you're meeting people and you're having conversations with people, they could be a cosmic guide, I want to say, in a direction. If you're feeling lost, remember that this is very, very highly intuitive energy. We've got, the sun in Scorpio, and we've got, this new moon going on in Scorpio, and we've got Mercury in Scorpio. So we have, on every level, you've got water energy flowing into you. And this is a very psychic energy as well. So this can be very overstimulating. It can be kind of unsettling energy if you're not used to Scorpio energy, because Scorpio energy is just a wee bit dark for some people, because you can see through deceptions and secrets and lies and omissions of truth. And so if you are feeling any of those things, it's a time, a new beginning maybe for you to trust your instincts, to trust them and let them guide you through the process of life. I'm really looking forward to telling you how this is going to affect your sun, your rising, but more importantly, your moon sign. Hi Scorpios, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for your very own new moon. You get one new moon and one full moon a year, and this new moon always signifies a new beginning. And for you, it's especially important because this is your new beginning. This is a time of the year when you get to rub Aladdin's lamp and you get to plant whatever seed that Aladdin gives you that you align yourself with in fertile soil. This is a beautifully aspected a new moon. We haven't had a lot of new moons in the past that are as blessed as this new moon, so you're very lucky to get energy when it's ripe for the picking. So for you, your ruler is conjunct with Venus. And so this is about diving into your unconscious realms and asking yourself some pretty precise questions about what you want when you're thinking about partnering with somebody. This is about valuing yourself enough to ask for only the very best and really setting intention to get it, to desire it enough to put that energy out into the universe to actually generate really positive energy brewing in this area. One of the most beautiful things about this event is Pluto, your ruler, which is in Capricorn in your third house, is sextiling Chiron in Pisces. So this really is a dreamy energy. This is dream big. This is about diving deep from within. This is about karmic healing. This is about releasing old karmic debt. This is about moving forward energy. This is about releasing where energy is pent up and blocked, where you may have struggled in the past to really align yourself with positive outcomes. That's no longer going to be the situation moving forward. Now, I think at some point, because you're such a control freak, there can be an internal mechanism that wants to switch on and want to control the situation too much and not fully unlock this energy. So I want to forewarn you, please do not do that. This is about sucking in purified, the most pure water that you ever can that has been never, it's like drinking water from the glaciers that have never been touched by humans or pollution or by anything. There's no source up there that would contaminate them, and drinking that and millions of years of nutrients and minerals going into these glaciers. So this is about purifying your soul from darkness and from dark thoughts and from self-sabotaging blocks in energy where you hold yourself and limit yourself. And this is about freedom, breaking free. This is about challenging yourself, challenging your need for control, releasing yourself and having faith in positive outcomes. It is such a glorious energy, and your ruler, Pluto, in this third house, is actually going to be sextiling with the entire event. So this is about, at this point, selling yourself, going out there, talking to people. You know, this is about, if you want something, you got to go seek it out. And then I don't think you're going to have to work incredibly hard with that, because Venus is so aligned with this event, with your energy, making you incredibly heart-based and passionate about this. Great time for Scorpio mojo. I'm just going to tell you. Like, you're going to ooze yumminess and sexuality and intimacy and desire. It's going to come out of your pores. If you really want to ignite desire and passion in your life, especially with a partner, if it was dissolving in any way, you can realign. This is also about getting your single butts out there and really honestly just smoldering. Like, you're just going to be the smolder. I'm just going to call you guys the smolder for this event. Because Scorpio energy just feels very sensual and sexual and very, I don't know why. I don't know why I feel this strong about, well, maybe because I really dig a good Scorpio. So I may be attaching a little too much personal experience with it, but it's such a lovely energy. You're going to have a strong, deep desire to communicate with everybody about what you want with the key players in this anyway. So this is about feeling safe where you're at, feeling at peace, feeling aligned. I think you're highly aligned right now. I think you desire something and there's something that is outside your reach that you hope to attain. And I think it's something that generates a fear with you if you go back out there. So be careful not to let that block your energy, block all this positivity, block this outcome, because that's all that Uranus energy that's going to have a tough talk with your. So Uranus energy is going to have a talk with Pluto, and they're going to see where your fears still lie or where you're still hiding from a positive outcome. You could be putting on blinders and intentionally hiding yourself from having to make a decision to move forward because you're just not ready. You still want to hold back, still want to play it safe, still have some old baggage that I think that you deal with. Let Chiron come into this energy, and this can happen. If I were you, I would spend a lot of time meditating. I would maybe sleep a little bit extra. That's when a lot of personal deep cleansing can happen, is when your mind is at ease and you're not stimulated by outside sources. Media is not important right now. Don't get stimulated by the internet and songs and video games and all of those things. I want you to release yourself from all of those things for right now and let all of this positive energy come into your life. And because when you have noise, you can't hear spirit and you can't hear your guides telling you what to do. And so if you really want a message, if you really want to align yourself, if you really want a positive outcome, then it's time to do what it takes to get it. And that is really honestly shut off all media devices, because they're very distracting from all of this amazing energy. I mean, that's just my advice to you. Take it or leave it, but it's glorious, and I'm so happy to give you good news on your very own new moon. And I hope you have a wonderful Thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Sagittarius, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the new moon that's going to be happening in Scorpio. And this new moon is gorgeously aspected, and aspected for pretty much everybody, including you. So all of this is going to be transpiring in your 12th house, and the 12th house is a very introspective house. It's a very deep thinking house. It's the unconscious, it's the reckoning, it's the house of karma. And but for you, what's really brewing in here is your career, life path, destiny. Where do you want to go with all of this? What are you trying to get to? What are you trying to achieve? This is coming from, these questions are coming from a very deep inside you. Now, when this happens, the sun and the moon align, and that's what makes a new moon. And all this is going to be in Scorpio. And Scorpio is very intense energy. It's a water-based energy. And this comes from a deep yearning desire that will emotionally motivate you to make changes. That's the idea of a new moon. It's a new beginning. So it's also tied in and conjunct at this point with Mercury, which is really honest in Scorpio, which is really asking you the tough questions, the questions that will change your outcome, but on a day-to-day basis. So for you, your ruler is in a sextile with this lovely event and sextile with Mercury. So you are going to be receiving special messages if you align yourself with your unconscious desires, with what you deeply desire. I mean, if you were to be truthful and not avoid, don't avoid, but to be very, very truthful with what you deeply and passionately desire. And this, you can't hold back in this energy. This is like rubbing the lamp of a genie and really asking yourself what you really deeply desire for an outcome. Now, I know that in the past, if you really align yourself with what you deeply desire, it meant fighting for getting what you want, and it meant imbalance, and it meant issues where maybe you lost control. And so I think you try not to go there anymore, because that's an area that can invoke the demon that lives within, and you fear that deeply, and you're getting released from all of this, right? Yes, you need to be real about the fact that there's probably a boundary that you need to have internally with yourself that keeps you aligned with moving forward and walking away from self-sabotaging behaviors and unconscious blocks and limitations. I think you're conscious of those things now, but I think what you fear is, I think you fear yourself somewhat, that these things may come back and may take over your life. So you're very protective and you're very conservative in your approach. And I'm not going to say that that's not a good thing, because your ruler is sitting in Virgo, which is a very conservative energy source in your 10th house, really asking you to align yourself, be confident, and move forward. And not that confidence is a really big issue with you, but I'm not talking about outward confidence. I'm talking about that internal confidence, that voice that plays in everybody, that says, hey, there's a limitation here, there's a stop here. You need to create a new beginning in that limiting belief system. And this is the energy source to do it. You can't get more aligned with energy than this energy source, because it's so beautifully aspected. So if you really want to move forward, but you believe that you will fall into some old self-sabotaging behaviors, know that I doubt you will. I think you've learned your lesson. You're so elevated. There's no reason why you would fall back into those situations. And if you do, you have a really good support system around you, and you have a broader understanding of where you fall. And so your Saturn being in Sagittarius is an awareness, it's an awakening energy in where you are weak. And and this is something that probably you'll only admit to yourself or to some of the deepest, closest people in your life that you know would never use it against you. But it really is one of those energies that you got to be super careful about truly aligning yourself with on a destructive level. And you've done it in the past, so you're worrying about that. And I wouldn't. Look, we're putting a seed in extremely fertile ground that has an irrigation of water running into it. And this ground is spiritually tingling right now for you to put seeds in and move forward and really honestly pick yourselves up. It's such a beautiful energy. I know you've been fighting really hard to get to where you are. You're afraid of falling backwards. Just know that you won't, because it's a new beginning. It's a new day. It's a new way of, I mean, the energy is so beautiful. And we're away from the Pluto-Uranus squares. Like, we're away from all of the retrogrades now, where we're, even though Saturn is in there, Saturn works, to me, with Saturn, I love Saturn in Sagittarius. It's opening up your mind. It's broadening your perspective. It's showing where You need to have more control in your life, and it's really honestly doing nothing but good in your life. So thank you guys so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner. Just plant seeds. It's gorgeous energy, and don't let your limiting belief systems take away the power of this gorgeous event. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Capricorns, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the new moon that is going to be happening in Scorpio. It's a delicious energy for you. Saturn is in Sagittarius, and it is positively aspecting in a lovely sextile with Venus in Libra, and it is squaring off with Neptune in Pisces. So this is all going to be happening in your 11th house. This is about hopes, dreams, and wishes aligning with your career, life path, destiny, and asking you those deep, tough questions. Are you aligned? Are you going in the right direction? Very powerful questions to be asking yourself. And I want to say that you will probably receive some messages throughout this transit, this 30-day cycle, where you start to figure that out. Now, your ruler in such a delicious mood is asking you, especially if you are working in a partnership in a work-based endeavor or a creative endeavor, you will be very positively aspected. You will somehow align with your partner. You will get a broader perspective on what they want. You guys were kind of creatively aligned during this event. New moons are about new beginnings, and this is all in water-based energy. So this is about transforming outcomes. This is about regenerating old thought processes or relationships or outcomes. This is about the rebirth of an idea that maybe you had put on the back burner because you didn't have enough facts, but now somehow you've stumbled across some information to make this possibility, this hope, dream, or wish a possibility. This is about the right friends coming into your life at the right time, offering you opportunity, talking to the right people. Somehow you're having conversations, and it just so happens to be with that one person that provides you with an opportunity, and they may go on a joint venture with you or turn you on to some way to get what you want. It's all about those intuitive messages coming from a source that you trust or a source that can generate an opportunity. This is about preparing for a big change. This is a very transformative new moon, and it is in a delicious mood, so it is really going to stimulate you to want to make a change. All for the better, by the way. We're very hyper-stimulated in this energy, but not in a bad way that makes us feel all agitated and really have a lot of anxiety. No, this is about filling you with an ambitious spirit, and with about moving forward energy and fearlessness. And it is really it's about making a commitment to something that you deeply desire and then passionately pursuing it, and then the right people just coming into your life at the right time. I don't know if you've ever been in if it's ever happened in your life that it just so happened that you were so energetically aligned that you just were somehow always having the right conversations with the right people, and you were just sitting there, I don't know, Buffalo Wild Wings. I love wings. And, you're having a beer, and you're just talking to somebody, and all of a sudden they offer you an opportunity of a lifetime. I've actually had that happen, and that's because you're just energetically aligned with your career, life path, destiny, and it really did set forward a chain of events in my life. So for you, this is about taking an idea and creating an outcome from it. It's about moving forward with it. It's about having the confidence, not thinking it through. Don't Capricorn this out. Don't be all conservative and like, I'm going to take my time, do all my research. No, because if you're aligned with the universe, and if you're aligned with all of these messages, and if the right people are coming into your life, and you're thinking about your hopes, dreams, and your wishes, and you're putting forth all this energy into the universe, sometimes it's about taking action without having all the facts. And you know what's I'm not talking about signing on the dotted line without the facts. That's just idiotic. But I'm talking about really attaching a purpose to some of these creative things that you wanted, that you deeply desire in your life. And this is about having the confidence to move forward in this energy, which you will have in spades, by the way. And there is information that you need that will come to you. This is a very liberating energy. This is about you're sitting there honestly, and this is about taking the steps for the next part of your life. This isn't about, oh, I'm lining myself and trying to find the best partner. This is about the big picture, taking the big steps that you need to take. And it is about, honestly, it's about humbly being thankful at the same process. You know, you had a lot of breakdown for a really long time. And so now it's time to rebuild and to give back and pay it forward. So if you are doing that and you are being a positive source for others, you're going to attract this positivity into your life. And people will want to follow you versus you having to force them to follow you based on some sort of power or ego issue. This is about having the knowledge to, like, maybe you're talking to somebody and maybe when you're talking to them, somehow you guys you just click and it aligns between the two of you. Like, it's a pretty powerful energy, and I'm blessed to bring it to you because I love the reading. I love that you're in control. You're very self-reliant. You have the emotional intensity and desire to move forward. And, you know, this isn't about being aggressive. It's about being assertive and moving forward. And it's about liberating you from limiting belief systems. I love all this. I really do. The conversation should flow. I would say that logic is going to help you through this. I was saying for most people, oh, rely on all this water energy and let it flush you and clean you. But no. For you, although I deeply believe that the emotional desire needs to be there for whatever this endeavor is, I definitely believe that you need to start really seeking out facts. I think you need to look at the sales aspects, all the numbers, projections. Like, you really are be in this analytical phase of this. You're going to be working a lot behind the scenes in this new moon. This isn't going to be where you're out in the world pushing forward, selling yourself, and you have this whole first house experience with this. You have a 12th house in this experience. And so this is working behind the scenes to get this done. This is learning. This is moving forward. This is talking things through. This is building it slowly, but building it confidently and assured. But when the timing is right and your gut tells you to move forward, release yourself from your need to take everything slow and precise and allow the emotional perception to really flood into this, because you're going to be aligned with the universe with all this water energy. You're going to be getting signals. This is Scorpio. Scorpio is in your sun, your moon. It's in Mercury, which is information. So when Scorpio is in there, it's about getting you the right facts. You know, it's about the truth coming out. It's about looking at the reality of the situation. It's about being in control of your outcome, you know, and having the knowledge behind you to have all that. It's fabulous, fabulous energy, brand new beginning. And what better aspect to have a new beginning than in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes, where friends can help bring opportunity. I mean, wow. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi, Aquarius. This is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the new moon that is going to be happening in your 10th house. And for you, this particular event is met with a whole lot of kunkungs. So, dang. Okay. New moons are about new beginnings, and this is a very intense Scorpio energy right now. Deep, deep, deep desires. This is about internal wants that goes so deep. And when you are involved in energy like that, it can be an awakening energy. Sometimes what you think you want, in the end, if you were really honest and released ego from it, maybe it's not what you deeply want. And so I think for some of you, it could possibly be that realization. Now, your ruler, Uranus, is quincunxing the new moon. It's quincunxing Scorpio, which is conjunct the new moon, and it's quincunxing Jupiter in Virgo. And then Saturn in Sagittarius is going to be positively aspecting, sextiling Venus in Libra, which suggests to me your work partnerships, and then squaring off with Neptune and Pisces. So I'm going to take a look at this from a couple of different angles, because I definitely believe that this has something to do with your heart, but I also think work. So all right, you are in a state where you are being liberated from something that is a blockage in energy, and this goes deep within your subconscious. And what Saturn in Sagittarius is asking you is to open yourself up to how do you align yourselves with your partners. Do they determine your outcome, or do they stand in the way of your outcome, or do they encourage you in your outcome and your career, life path, destiny? This is life path, destiny questions, and this is about who are you aligning yourself with during this process. This to me screams that there's a lot of questions that are coming up regarding work. What is work taking from your life? How is it creating obstacles? Is it okay? So if you were to align yourself with just work, then I see positive outcomes in this. But the problem is that there's a heart-based innermost desire that you want more, and it's almost like between work and your heart, you've got to make a choice. Now, it could mean that you just maybe have to come up with a creative solution that is not idyllic. Like, don't ignore the fact that there's an elephant in the room in your particular life right now. And you're trying to avoid making a decision right now because in the past you haven't been too successful at it. So you're putting a lot of thought into this right now. And if you do this, it can create a lot of problems with a lot of people. Now, one of the things that I notice specifically with you, and I've been noticing, is that you seem to not be completely in line with your purpose. Or maybe sometimes when you're a really bullheaded sign, and let's be frank, we both know you are, you can get really set and regimented and fixated on an outcome, and that doesn't allow for the creative process to come in and open you up intuitively in your emotional desires. It could mean that you tie a lot of ego into an outcome, but there's the emotional momentum often isn't there. And what I'm seeing is the emotional momentum is now there, but it's almost like in order for you to get what you want, you've got to leave something behind, or you've got to make a decision that puts other things aside so that you can get the outcome that you want. And so you are preparing for a big change, and I think if you make a decision that you have to make moving forward, it's going to be difficult to make this decision. I'm feeling that it's difficult, and that's what all this quincunx energy is. When we have all of this energy in Scorpio, This is about aligning with your instincts. Also, Chiron is really honestly in this entire event, really flushing this energy with healing energy. Now, the problem with you is I don't see Chiron being a big player, is because I think you're still doing something that's incredibly ego-based and blocking out that energy source from coming in and doing the healing that it needs to do. What it is I think you're trying to release and let go of ego and follow your heart more. And that doesn't always make you feel completely aligned in whatever it is, whatever you truly and deeply desire. So you see a powerful outcome, but there's almost like something needs to die, something needs to end for a rebirth to start. Understand that for a rebirth to start, there's always an ending, right? There's an ending, you know. Death usually, it's so funny, every time I hear that there's a death, soon after I hear in that family, there's always a birth of a new child. And so I really believe that this is about releasing some of this old residual negative energy in your life that, I mean, you have knowledge right now. But the knowledge that you have is even tough to face. And that's all this Mercury and Scorpio energy that we have. It's really honestly about teaching you what really is going on in your life. Like, really honestly, there's no way to hide from this energy. I know that you're used to being self-reliant too, but you have a partneringship energy in a sextile with a Sagittarius. So this is about aligning yourself with some sort of partnership. Now, for me, what screams in this is an emotional-based endeavor. So this could mean a literal partner, or it could mean a partner that you're starting a business with, or it could mean family that you have been working with, that you're starting your life with, and this partnership with. This could mean that in the past you were really successful and now you're not, and now you're trying to figure out why energetically you're not successful at something you're pouring this much heart and this much attention into, and it's like you're not. It's like you're putting so much into your emotional attachment right now that you're forgetting about your work, your career, life path, destiny, your work outcome, right? The service to the world, what you were created to do and achieve and bring to this world, because you're so caught up in trying to do this heart-based endeavor. It could be a creative endeavor. It absolutely could be creativity, but this is very water-based, whatever it is. So if I were to take a look at your water energies that are in negativity right now or in lower vibration, I would say it's Neptune and Pisces. So this is about aligning yourself with the reality of the situation, about accepting it, about really honestly letting go of your own expectations of this, the judgments that you have on this, and about aligning yourself with facts. Cold, hard facts are going to save you from all this emotional energy. And that's what, okay, the neat thing about is we've got water energy and we've got Mercury. That is facts about feelings. That is facts about heart. That is facts about an emotional attachment. There are facts to back up this decision that you have to make. And yes, it's super important to align yourself with this energetic connection. But you're off in this new beginning, and maybe this new beginning is a death, an ending to something, so that you can plant your seeds in fertile ground again and not have something always depleting the soil, right? This is a fresh, clean soil filled with sparkly fairy dust from the universe, all freshly irrigated all the time. It's on a timer. You don't even have to walk out there. Like, it's such delicious energy. And if you align yourself with Saturn in Sagittarius, sextiling Venus in Libra, So this is about unlocking where you consciously block your own progress, and about taking a look at the partnerships in your life and about aligning them with your career, life path, destiny, so you can turn all this around. You shouldn't have to give up your career, life path, destiny for a relationship. And it's about aligning those two and getting those two on board with each other so that you can turn all this energy around. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event. Hi Pisces, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the new moon that is going to be happening in Scorpio. And so this is a fellow water sign, which is always really good for you. The thing I love about this particular new moon is it is really positively aspected. We have had so many negatively aspected new moons, and it's really good to feel energy like this. So we have the sun and the moon are aligned, which what makes a new moon, and they're all in Scorpio. And then we have Mercury conjunct with the event. And so for you, this is a really powerful energy asking you some really big questions about what do you want? Like, what do you deeply want? This is 9th house work, and 9th house asks you the really big questions. Your purpose in the world, your, how do you see life? Like, how do you see outcomes? I mean, these are big, big questions for you. And I think what's happening is as things are coming into your life and as they're aligning, as you're aligning more with your life on a realistic level, it's starting to make you optimistic and want to make new choices. And sometimes that can create a somewhat foggy energy in your life about how to make a decision. So I think that that's why during this event, your ruler is squaring off with Saturn and Sagittarius, because maybe you're getting overly stimulated from others, outside sources, maybe friends, and they're making you confused about some of the choices that you're making. And so that can be quite frustrating because, I mean, you see an outcome and you're aligned with your outcome, but I think it's getting others on board. Maybe conversations with others can be somewhat confusing. So here's my advice to you. When we have this much Scorpio energy and then you have all this Pisces energy, what this does is, honestly, you're really energetically aligned. So don't rely on what others said, especially if they're friends. You don't know where the source of all this advice comes from. I mean, is it truly from, sometimes people give you advice to sabotage your progression because of their space in life. And so you got to be really careful of the sources that you trust with making some of the decisions that you have to make. And, honestly, I believe that if you're having, so if some of you are having trials with children, maybe a male child in your life or male children, and you're worried about it putting out the light of this little female child, and I'm doing the reading that I see. This won't apply to everybody, but it applies to somebody particularly. Or maybe you have a childlike enthusiasm for something, or maybe you have a brand spanking new idea that has emotional momentum, but it doesn't have the monetary means to work itself out. So you're trying to make a decision about it and you could feel foggy. But if it's a child issue, maybe the male and the daughter aren't getting along, and so you're trying to make some decisions about that, or maybe there's an issue with a male child that can be difficult. If any of these things are in a negative aspect, just know that these can all be turned around quite easily through conversation. Conversation is going to be really highly rewarded in this. I mean, having conversations and elevating your thinking and broadening your perspective on the issue is very important. The sources that you trust are as equally. So follow your intuition, follow your gut, and align yourself with the right people to talk to you about this situation. Find a way to, I want to say that there's a Taurus energy in your life that you may not be particularly aligned with right now. And it's like you guys are in this emotional war or this emotional unpleasantness. And, I mean, you're just really wanting a harmonious outcome. But whatever's going on, a Taurus energy can also mean just the fact that you really want a strong, steady foundation that could be not in a line during this event. And so you're having to stabilize the situation, open your mind to a different perspective, and find a way to seek control of this particular situation. Whatever it is, I see really positive outcomes. I mean, really positive outcomes. I think that if you have a very conservative approach, that's going to be best. If you go out there all emotional, and if you put and you Neptune out a little bit, and you're just all emotional and very feminine in your perspective of this, very nurturing, very loving, very emotional about this situation, and it comes off in a very female-oriented way, it's going to put off, it's going to make the situation worse. So I would try to find a way to use logic and make it be more stable and emotionally stable in what you're trying to communicate with others. If this has, you could have to do with, past issues with, seeking child support and visitation and all this stuff with child. I mean, I see children or child energy or new ideas. I mean, I see that definitely being some of the blocked energy sources that I see, but for the most part, it's a lovely, beautiful new moon. Don't get caught up in the negativity of it. Sometimes when we have negative energy in our ruler in an event like this, it really opens our mind to a new beginning or a transformation in that particular area. And sometimes that transformation has to be negatively emotionally charged for us to add enough momentum to want to make a change. So making a decision is going to be very hard for you. You're going to feel a little foggy with facts, with elevated thinking. It's like you need to think more about it. This isn't on a ritualistic basis. On the day-to-day basis, I think you're doing well. It's the broader big picture that I think you're having some questions about and you're trying to figure out, and that can come through a negative aspect that you get the answer and then you energetically align with what you're supposed to do. All this confusing, foggy energy goes away. It opens you up to the answer to that all impending question that you've been having here for a while. And remember, we're in a yod, so of course you're trying to figure that out as well. So anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.